Welcome back to episode 2 of What Would Tony Do? In this episode, we're going to do a much simpler project. So earlier I made one of these for Erica. It's for her horse Bentley. She gets some special hay. I don't know, high protein hay, I guess. I didn't even know hay could be complicated, but apparently it can be. Well, people at the barn saw that and asked for similar signs for their horses. Just not that anyone, I think, is intentionally trying to take anyone else's hay, but there's a bunch of piles, and sometimes it's easy for people to mix up which pile is for who, especially when you have someone else grabbing you a chunk of hay. So we're just going to make a couple for some of the other horses at the barn, and I thought it'd be a fun ride along for you guys. All right, let's get to it. All right, we're going to start this adventure out. Went to the scrap bin. So I got a couple pieces of scrap. We're just going to rip these down, mostly because I have it. When I did Erica's, I made it all out of southern yellow pine and stained it. But since these are just freebies, I'm just going to use up some of the stock I had sitting around. So first step is let's mill this stuff down into the same size, and then we're going to attach it. Alright guys, so while I don't want to do a circle because it's a little bit of a headache, I am at least going to step this up just a hair and do something so it's not quite just a square. One of the French circle, they're great resources to have, inexpensive, but they just have a lot of good curves, so I'm just grabbing one and I'm going to mark some curves. Draft it out on the bandsaw, and then after I hit it on the bandsaw, I'll just clean it up with the sander. And so as you can see, I'm flipping it over. It's not quite a uniform curve. It should make it kind of match the dimensions, so it's steeper on the short side and narrower on the other side. I'm using 3/8 rebar, so I know I can just grab a drill, and I guess I need the actual drill. All right, so I have a 3/8" bit and a drill. So we're just gonna put a hole in here. Good, nice and tight. That's what we're looking for. All right, while those bad boys dry, I'm gonna throw some stain on. I actually had someone ask me about these. These are nothing fancy. They're just pieces of PVC that I just split in half, and I use them to hold stuff up all the time. I also grabbed a couple stains. Nothing fancy. One's hickory, one's gun stock. They're left over from other projects, so I'm just using up something I had. Also, it's probably not the best, but for projects like this where I'm just laying some stain down, I actually use like the Mechanics blue cloth and then just throw it away rather than trying to keep track of rags. Another trick, if you have a bandsaw, I just rip up 3/4 inch ply and then make stir sticks out of it. That way I don't have to buy stir sticks. Because I always have little scraps of 3/4 inch plywood laying around. The other thing is if you lay your rag just on top, then when you knock the top on, if there is anything in the edge, it won't splooge out at you. Where the hell's my trash can? There it is. This is my first time using plastic letters. In the past, I've always used the paper letters you get just at like a big box store. And while those work great, they tend to be 1 to 2 uses before they're not really reusable. I did find that because these are thinner, they did actually sit to the wood better. So all in all, I'm pretty happy using these, and they seem like they're going to be reusable. To attach the post to the sign, I'm just eyeballing center, but using a speed square to make sure that they line up square, because it'll be more obvious if it's crooked. And I'm just using screws from the back that'll go about halfway through the 3/4 inch plywood to hold it. This will let you not see any screws from the front. Alright, sign 2 done. Alright guys, project is complete. So we're going to hand these off. I'll let Erica go put them up at the barn and let you guys see what they look like finished. So, Phoebe and Dante, you have signs coming your way.
Hope you guys enjoyed watching this as much as I did making it. It wasn't an especially complicated project, but I recorded it because I wanted to show you guys that projects like this can be great skill builders. I personally am still not great at cutting curves, so I threw some curves on these just so that I could practice the skill of both cutting the curve on the bandsaw as well as sanding to that curved line, so that when I'm working with an expensive piece of wood, I have the confidence that I can do it right the first time. I also added roundovers to the boards, mostly because I just put dust collection on my router table, and I'm still amazed at how much more of a pleasure it is to use with great dust collection. Thanks for joining me, and look forward to catching you next time.